you know. Grand Rising, beautiful, melanated, original, whatever you respectfully call yourself, people. It's your girl, Straight No Chaser with the Queen, and we are here with the Good Morning from Africa Town, LA crew. And we are here going to be talking about Othal Wallace. So, you know that we are a self proclaimed micronation. So, before we get started, we have a message from
The United Empires of Akibilon is a sovereign nation founded on the principles of Black economic empowerment, self determination, and community building. Our mission is to create a safe and prosperous haven for Black people to live, work, and thrive together, free of the chains of white supremacy. We are committed to building a just and equitable society that values the contributions of its Black citizens and fosters a culture of innovation.
and I'm sorry that cut off. We're going to update that. So, again, we are a self proclaimed micronation, and our goal with all that we do is to bring our dollars collectively, whether you buy merch, whether you donate. The whole vision is to get land so that we can build self sufficient communities, safe communities for us. And that leads us to why we're here today. We are talking about ozone, Othal Wallace. And a lot of people that I find out don't even know that this is going on. And you know that is a problem when mainstream media is not talking about one of their own being shot and killed. Well, Othal Wallace was was on trial for defending himself for shooting and killing a police officer. This time it wasn't us at the end of the barrel. And I don't think they really like it. So they've been trying to what they say, what Malcolm X said, flim flam them, bamboozle us. And
Facts.
they're quiet because there's a black man that lived, and the problem that I see is that nobody is really talking about it because most of the time we are programmed to just cry and jump and say his or her name, and we are used to talking about death. Well, this man survived and he did what we claim that we all want be done. We want to defend ourselves. You know, we want to defend ourselves against these rogue racist cops. And how come nobody is talking about this? I know some of us are raising money, and as you can see at the bottom of the screen, that's where you can go donate to his defense fund because he was on trial and he was found guilty of manslaughter. And we're going to talk about that. Anybody have something to say in the chat? Or,
What we got? So I would say this though. I'm surprised that so many people don't even know about this case. But I'm disappointed actually. But we already talked about the NAACP, Al Sharpton, Ben Crump, and all them other Negroes who, if the brother would have got deleted, it would have been a whole different story. But since the brother survived and he self-defense, nobody don't really want to talk about it. Like I said, I know Black Love was talking about it earlier that she was talking to some people and nobody didn't really hear about the case. So that's why we doing this to let people know. And he still need donations, y'all. So I've been reaching out to my people to donate, and you know what I'm saying. And the brother, he do need the support, and we need to bring this, out to let people know about this case because, like I said, if the brother would have got deleted, it would have been a totally different story. I let my point.
exactly. Exactly. It's like
Very true.
we are attracted to black death. Everybody benefits off of black death, even black people, and we have not celebrated that this man is alive, that he has a chance to get home to his kids because usually when a black man is in face the face with a suspicious officer, especially a white one, he usually goes home in a body bag. And I'm talking about home, not home to his house with his family. You get what I'm saying? So that his
Yeah.
defense, if I'm not mistaken, his defense is almost 160 some thousand. And I think there's $103,000 that's raised by Platt. Um,
Yes.
And so,
That's the retainer, the 160. So we still need to continue to raise money for his attorney fees. And then of course there'll be more fees for if he decides to appeal.
okay. And I think he's going to appeal because right now they was trying to get him the death penalty. So let's break down what's going on. He was found guilty of manslaughter. They wanted to give him the death penalty. And now I don't know all about law. We're just like you. Everybody, I think as black people, we expect everybody that to know everything. No, we don't. My understanding is that he wasn't even allowed to claim self-defense. It was something going on with this biased judge, and the judge, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he black, Kathy?
No, he
No,
wasn't. He wasn't white. He looked maybe Hispanic or
he was
something.
some type of Hispanic.
Yeah.
He has an
So
Italian last name, but he looks Hispanic. He
he
sounds
had to
Hispanic.
drop the
And this
black
the guy.
blood.
This the guy who got. This is the cop that got deleted.
Yes,
No,
but we're
this is
talking
the
about the
judge.
No, the
judge.
judge.
Oh,
The
the
We're
judge.
judge.
talking about the
Hispanic. He's
judge
a
over
Hispanic guy.
presiding
Yeah,
over the case.
yeah, he's a Hispanic type guy.
Yeah, but he didn't. I mean, black men that should have been a self defense case because we are the only race that has PTSD when it comes down to the police. Because no matter what everybody else say, we're all in this together. We're all in this. We're the only ones being worn on T-shirts because we're being deleted by white officers, and you don't have the same incidents happening with black officers deleting white people. That's just,
Exactly.
and we're raising money, and then our people, we're so disappointed because y'all will buy all kinds of stupid stuff. Y'all will donate to all kinds of stupid stuff. You would donate to people who have nothing that's not going to give you anything but entertainment. But we have been programmed to just be entertained and be the entertainers. That you will spend your money on BS, but not pay attention to a case that can help you. This case can set what they consider a precedence where they can look back on it, and this case can set the motion where black men can start defending themselves against the police. Because if you're waiting for the laws to change, the only way the laws would change is when you have cases like this that comes up where you have a
Hmm.
chance in court. But you, as black people, we are so programmed to put our hands up and don't shoot. Ain't nobody saying shoot back. And this is what happened. Defend yourself because these racist, white supremacy, undercover white men that are wearing blue uniforms are out to delete us.
I tried to think of
True
it like
story.
this. You don't know if it could be you. You could be sitting in your car and a cop could come up to you. What are you going to do?
Exactly. And let's talk about how this is what I'm talking about. As black people, we never write rules. We don't write rules to go against anybody. We don't write laws to oppress white people. We don't do that. But somehow they always have the pen in the pan. I told you the most dangerous creature on earth is a white man with a pen and a piece of paper, and they've been using that to write the laws and the religion. And the law, usually in manslaughter, you're facing 5 to 15 years. And I know a lot of people thinking that, but no, 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 because they protect themselves and they don't see no problem with white cops killing us or deleting us. They wrote the law that if a police officer is killed, just like you know how the Asians have protection and LBGT,
Right.
everybody has this protection. Well, the law is if an officer is killed, is what aggravated manslaughter, and he's
Yeah.
actually in 30 years.
Is that something new?
No,
No, it's the
Okay.
same thing though. Like if you kill a police dog, it's
yep,
the same.
a
That's
dog got
It's
the
true.
Yeah,
a
25
it's a
years off the rip.
dog.
You kill a police dog, it's like 25 years. Yeah.
Yep.
It's the
Hmm.
same, you know. But
That's why they want black men laying there while these dogs gnaw on their balls and stuff, because you can't do nothing to a dog because they basically rate a dog higher than a black person's life.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, you can go further to say that. You can go so far to say that you've had white people that have left their dogs in the car. Somebody will call on the about the dog versus a child.
Yep.
So I think it's a mentality. Um, we should go beyond the black white thing. I think with the black officers, was it 5 6 officers that killed that black man? Like it's just as much an outrage as a white officer doing it. You know, We don't see the stories about white cops brutalizing other, white races, white ethnic races, Europeans, whatever. But it does happen. And the fact that, and to
We're
piggyback
not
on
trying
what
to
you
be
said,
funny. Not trying to be funny.
mm,
I don't give a damn if it's happening. The whole point is there is stuff that's happening. Yes. There's white cops that have killed white people. There's white cops that have killed Hispanic people. The problem is there's an epidemic of them killing us. So I don't have time to feel sorry for no other race that doesn't care. This judge is a prime example of why black people, we have no friends. Don't mean to cut you off, Queen. Go ahead.
no, you're fine. No, and I respect that. I get that. That's what I'm saying. Is it whether it the disproportionate, whatever it is with ethnicity? My point is that whole system is corrupt. And it's unfortunate because I believe that a lot of people get into things like politics, law enforcement, all those things, law, to do
So
the
that
right
they can
thing.
use the law to push their racism. And that's what has been happening in America.
They push hatred. That's what I'm saying. That whole
Or who they hate on.
organization.
Who do they hate on? It's the hate is going towards us. That's why it disproportionately affects us. Because you don't see none of the Hispanic and the Jewish or the Asian community complaining that they're being shot and killed at a high rate by police officers who were supposed to protect and serve. They don't have police officers came in our present because they were the slave patrol. They were specifically made to attack black people.
And I agree with that. I do. And I don't think it's too far, in the future from that point that it's changed very much. But I do think people, it's for me, it's interesting to see black people, sign up to the police force or even the military. You know, why would you
And,
fight for a country that doesn't fight for you? But for some reason it happens.
and then
I
most
think
of the black people, Queen, they treat the black cops treat their own people just the same. It's like they just conform to the system. They don't join the police force to make changes. They join the police force. Look at Fannie Willis and all these other people that's sitting in power. We used to want seats of power in this white supremacist system so that we can make changes, but nobody sees the need to make changes because it's happening to everyone. Nobody sees the need, so we have all these black officers, judges, and that's why I don't see the black and brown coalition, because this judge that did not allow the self-defense, that was so biased, that basically was trying to force the jury to find him guilty of murder.
mm,
That's what it looked like during the trial. Y'all go on Michi's page and Y2 Kenya's page to watch it. I mean, he's seen nothing wrong. But yet we always have the black and the brown people, the Hispanics, yelling that the police are doing them just as wrong. And yes, cases happen, but this is one case where a black man has fought back, and we have a judge that is Hispanic, and he was using all his power so that our brother Othal Wallace, hashtag Ozone, could not have a fair trial.
I agree. I thought that trial was very quick and swifty.
Definitely was.
But here's the thing, though, and I talked to Queen Kathy about this. Here's the thing: this is a very significant case.
Yes.
But think about the cases that are so similar to this that we don't hear about. You know, we have to be ready to be
But
boots on the ground.
you don't really have no cases where a black man done shot and killed the white officer. You see that the other day a sheriff was just shot and killed. I think Kathy knows about it, and they went and picked him up ASAP. So you don't have black men finally shooting the police back. So this is a very rare case.
It's rare because it could be your brother, your
So,
husband, your
let
cousin.
me ask the question: how many lawyers he have? How many lawyers he got on this case?
We only saw 3.
I
Okay,
think it's 3.
Okay. So
What do they look like? What do they look like?
Please donate.
Not us.
Yeah, because it's very important. He still needs some legal fees.
Because you don't hardly have no black people that, like I said, you don't have most of these black lawyers. Do you see a bunch of black lawyers fighting for the rights or trying to subpoena or trying to change the law where it can
Exactly.
help benefit black people?
That's what I was about to go with that. I don't understand. I don't care if you're a lawyer or a doctor. I don't understand why we can't rally for one another. Like you can make all your money that you want to. I don't care what their ethnicity is. If you have the money to pay $1,000 an hour, then that's cool. But if somebody doesn't, why don't we want to? As if you're a black lawyer, why don't you want to take this case? I don't want Benjamin Crumb on my case. If I had a case, I don't want him. I
Yeah,
want somebody that's going.
Why didn't Benjamin Crump, Al Sharpton,
I wouldn't want
why
him.
aren't all these high profile avalanche chasing lawyers
I
on
wouldn't
this
want
case?
him. He would still
Why
get his cut
on
though.
this case?
Why can't you do it for free though? Why can't you do it out the goodness of your heart?
That
I don't understand
because
that.
they're just like
That's not
everybody
gonna
else.
happen.
They have been profiting off of Black Death too.
Yep.
We see what we see, and it's time to call us out too.
Yeah, you're right. I've been
And
saying that
that's
a
what
lot
I'm saying with
for
the
a long
UAL.
time.
That's
You
what I'm saying
know,
with the UAA. Like we are looking for black people, black leaders that don't mind offering their services, pouring back into giving, supporting. I don't know why that's so hard. I
facts.
really don't.
Because a lot of our so-called black leaders, a lot of these so-called black lawyers, a lot of these so-called black politicians are not trying to dismantle the system. They see nothing wrong with it. They are making money just like the white lawyers and the white doctors and the white judges and the white police officers, and they take their salary and they go live in their partially white neighborhoods. They see no reason to dismantle the system. They don't see
And
the problem. You see Fannie Willis, she's going around trying to get Trump, but she's not caring about none of the black crime that's going on in her city. It's all a
exactly.
joke.
And like you said, let's be honest. A lot of our people, if they're not making a profit from it, they're not interested. You know what I'm saying? Because I can tell people, if racism ended today, people like Al Sharpton and all these other so-called activists, they'd be out of job because they got nothing to so-called fight for anymore. It's bigger than just that. You know what I'm saying? These people, I mean, they had to hear about this case, but like I said, because the brother, he came out on the other end and the cop came out on the other end like we normally do. That's why, and that's all it is, because it should be some. I mean, it's happening. What when did this happen? 20, is it 20 or 21? When it happened around, I look after
It
George
happened
Floyd,
like
right?
around
2021.
21, right?
21, yeah. So you mean tell me nobody heard nothing about it? Like I'm sure people down in
Yeah.
Daytona heard, but like it should be a
You mean to tell me
nationwide
you mean to
thing.
tell me that these good old white stations don't have a reason? Why wouldn't they? Usually they want to highlight these cases so they can basically lynch a black person. Like this person did why haven't white media picked it up? Because they do not want to see any black man have any strength. They don't
Exactly.
want to
Right.
see any
And
They
let's
were
be
not
black people.
confident. They were not confident in the
hey,
end result. That's what the problem was.
let's
They were not confident in the end result.
let's address
You
the pink
know,
elephant in the room. You can tell you why they're not even showing this or promoting it, because they don't want no other black man getting any ideas like him. He can rebel
Exactly.
against the cops. They don't want that. That's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? They're not
That's
finna
why
push
it's
that.
been suppressed.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
We can't have them
They
new.
were supposed to be crying and yelling because one of their young white basically officers was murdered by was um
Deleted.
where they say deleted by a black man who was a normal black man, tired of the system and tired of looking over his shoulder, and he took the option to protect himself and to live so he could come home to see his children.
Exactly. And but see, they used to seeing black people crying and boohooing and praying to
Yes,
God and marching and protesting and hands up, don't shoot type shit. See, that's what they used to, but see, it's a new day. And that brother right there, he wasn't wasting no time. I've been the same way. Like, I don't know.
exactly.
You can't take a chance. Like, they just kill brothers, they just did that around that time, they just shooting brothers for nothing. So like he said, he's a father, he got kids. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and he got a family. So this brother doing stuff for the community. So we need brothers like that out doing
Mhm.
what they supposed to do in the community. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
and
Is
that's
it
what I'm
wrong
saying.
for
Like,
me?
so to piggyback off of to piggyback off what Cantina said, we do celebrate the fact that he has not lost his life and on death row, but it's still not something to celebrate. Like he can't see his children because he defended himself. That's not celebratory. I don't want to be
To me, it is.
offensive.
People say it's not. To me, it is. Let's look at reality. We always want to see ourselves ahead. We are on a long road. And right now, on this road to freedom, we're going to have stops along the way. And this stop along the way is a cool drink of water. And I don't care what nobody say. That man is alive. We could be looking at him on a t-shirt. So you cannot tell me that is not a victory. It might not be the victory we want, but like I said, and I'm going to say it, a win is still a win because he's alive and he did not get the death penalty. So he dodged death twice through white supremacy. The first
Right. So
time
let me ask you a question.
They
and the
just
second time
knew.
with their death
So let me
penalty.
ask you a question.
They
This is what I'm
knew.
about to. I'm not opposing what you said, but let me ask you a question. Like, I've never been in jail. For me, I can't drink from a fountain where I piss. Just me, my hair don't work. Just me. But I've been in situations where I could be in jail. So you never know. So if you spend your whole life in prison for some nonsense, like after a while, depending on the situation, you can become the walking dead. Like you have nothing to live for. So my thing is,
all that don't matter. The whole point is we got 100. Are we not talking about mass incarceration? We got black people. My son is one of them sitting in damn prison right now for doing nothing. So he might be in prison, and I'm not saying that's the best. My thing is that I'm valuing the life that he still has. I'm looking at the other side of it. We can look at it from every angle, and we can hey, he shouldn't have been there. He shouldn't have did this. But when you look at reality, you're dealing with a racist ass system that was set to bury him. The first thing is that we have been dealing with race soldiers missing us in the streets just like this. We never get to see the judge or the jury. It's just death on sight. That's what it's
right.
been. So if he's not deaf on sight, he can still talk to his kids. George Floyd can't. Tamar Rice is not alive to grow. You got to look at what are we fighting for? We won a battle. I'm not saying we won the whole war. Do you know during the civil wars and all this, that's why you have the Battle of Bunker Hill and stuff, Hill and different stuff. During a war, you're going to win certain battles. And this is a win of a battle off of this war of white supremacy. And it's one rare battle.
It is. And I think for me, what I want to take from this, I want people to be encouraged to pick up arms. Like I said, I always go back to the January 6th situation because it's real. Like those people broke the law and they did it confidently without concern. So why don't we do that? What are we afraid of? If you're going to be incarcerated, I'm sorry, if you have the 3 strikes and you're out for a dime bag, like do a service, and pop these mugs. There was a story the other day.
But that's what he did.
Yourself because this is a start. Because if you had all these hundreds of men that's sitting in prison, if you had 100 of them sitting in prison because they popped the officer before the officer killed them, then we would be looking at even it out. So instead of having 100 black men in prison for frivolous, stupid stuff like marijuana, and have 100 black men in the grave because some white officer decided that he breathed the wrong way or looked like a cell phone, I'd rather have 100 black men sitting in prison for shooting back first.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're gonna go to jail for the rest of your life, like make that shit make sense, And it's for me. I'm very compassionate. I'm very humanitarian. I'm always black first. It's very difficult to say, kill these cops, wives and children and dogs. Might as well say, well, you don't know them, that they're innocent. Our people are innocent too. It's very difficult to match that energy. People talk a lot of shit. You in the street, come over.
Was matched on that day. That's what I'm saying. By a win is a win. We won a battle. No, we have not won the war. It's a battle. And who's to say if it don't change, even though he got 30 years, he facing 30 years, who's to say he's going to get the 30 years? We got confidence with the battle. Now he can appeal it. Now he can appeal it. And
But
now
that's what I'm saying, Queen. Like, even if it was like 15 or 10 or 5,
But
why?
but my thing is, I thought the judge would not allow self-defense because what we saw during this trial is that those jurors, they was predominantly white. Whose dog? We gotta mute it.
I'm sorry, that's me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the
We what
dog
we
trying to talk.
saw,
The dog said he want to speak.
what we saw is that even though that he could have pleaded self-defense because most black people, we are the only ones dealing with this. So, of course, we should have PTSD. That should have been a self-defense because we can prove that black men or black people, do we not shake and get scared when the police get behind us?
Oh,
That
my
is a
ass
given.
pinches up so tight.
So,
Boy.
you know the sad part about it, if there was some Mexicans or any other group, them people would have made sure everybody would knew
Thank
about
you.
this. The Asians, black,
They
that you
would
know,
have
black
came
people not
out.
on
They would have
code.
been pushing Congress to pass a
Mhm.
law. They wouldn't have, that's why I ain't, go ahead. I ain't mean
And
to
why
cut
nobody
you off.
don't take us serious? You know what I'm saying? Like they don't take us serious, and a lot of black people don't take us serious. They like I said, that brother would have got killed. Guarantee you, it would have been all over the
We would have
world.
been mad.
Just
He's
like George
dead.
Floyd.
They
Yep.
killed him. Another brother's dead. Say his name.
Exactly.
Hashtag.
But that's what I'm saying though, but we don't make action. We can be mad all we want to. We can hashtag whatever, but we're not collectively boots on the ground.
But
Are
look,
you?
not mean
Mm,
to cut you off. What I was
please go
saying
ahead.
about the white jury, they predominantly white, and they kept asking that judge about I forgot what the question was about, what the cop's intention was. Like they were trying to make excuses for the cop to basically stop and frisk or to harass his brother, and the judge was giving them every leeway and he wouldn't help the jury. And what I seen is that the jury was looking for every way out. The jury gave him the lowest charge that they can give him.
And I'm
So
happy for that.
that's a 3 strikes in this battle that we won because the white people are tired of this BS too.
Exactly, and that's my thing. If you have a cop, like look at Amber Geiger, right? You have a gun, a taser, a baton. How
And she
you
only
scared for
doing
your you so scared for your life?
Exactly.
Why do you choose this profession? What you scared of? You have all the weapons in your hand. You know, that's my. I don't understand. Like I get playing by the rules and following the law, and that's what makes it so tricky. You listen to the rules of a law, and you have to abide by that, and it screws all of us. How would you say something crazy and the judge tells you to dismiss the comment? No.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You still heard it, but the thing is, they
Yeah.
have been using the law to manipulate the minds of people, black and white, for so long. But now that everybody, black and white, is seeing the results of racism, and you cannot deny it. And no matter how much these fake behind black people, whether they're Hispanic or they're the black people in these suits and stuff, try to keep pleasing white supremacy, the rest of us that is not trying to please this system is doing something about it. And to me, that the jury did what they could do about it, but it was the judge and everything else.
Yeah, that jury, they have
Yep.
the questions.
And then
And the
black
young
people.
people
Mhm.
told the older people, this is what happens. Because they probably said, what if it was me? At the white people, what if it was me sitting in the chair and somebody came up to me? How would I be able to make it home to the next day? I'm going to defend myself. So as good as it was, I'm glad those 3 black people were on the jury, but the majority of them were white and young, and they turned it around to say, no, this has to stop.
Let me tell you how. I'm gonna use these people names. It's some people that that supported it. I even meet Tariq, and I would say even Jason Black. Now the following them guys got, they mentioned it on their page. I heard them, but the thing is, when I go in the comments, black people ain't saying nothing. Like for some
Did they
reason,
even
they ain't
dedicate
clicking
to
them.
Jason Black? Not trying to be funny. Let's go out. Let's just call it out. FBA, y'all talking about give y'all reparations. First of all, that's just one of the battles in this war. Reparations is one battle. The police is another battle. School to prison pipeline is another battle. We got many battles. Now, all these popular people, my little channel, I've been airing it for the past year, letting Y2 Kenya air it and stuff. The thing is that all these popular channels, they do like everybody else. They get that little YouTube check. It's not popular to Every black man should be raising their hand saying hashtag ozone, because he showed y'all that he wanted to go home to his fucking family and not die by the hands of some white supremacist in a blue uniform.
And I'm gonna say this,
ain't none of them,
Queen.
Tariq Nasheed, all these, they make cartoons, they do all this. Jason Black, he done did signs, and I'm not knocking them. My thing is, where was the energy for this?
Yeah, because talk about it one time, you gotta be consistent with it. Another thing too is, I know, I hate to say it. No, I don't hate to say it. I'm tired of this because I be in these other rooms with I'm FBA. I'm pretty much all of us in here are FBA. But the thing is, y'all so caught up in this.
I'm
these
FBA,
words.
but I don't believe in the tethered stuff and all that stuff.
Exactly, because they know the Ozone. I think
in
he's I think Ozone is like, he's not FBA. He's like, he's like a Caribbean background. I mean, yeah, something like that. But that don't mean that he's still a brother. And some of them not saying it, they showing it in their action, not really saying anything about it. I know that's what it is. That's why they don't really too much care, because he's not FBA, and that's some BS. Because that brother do a lot in the community. You got some of our brothers and sisters who immigrant do more than some of us do, and we FBA. So let me stop that shit. I'm tired of that. All black people, all FBA, ADOS, whatever. They ain't boots on the ground, like Angie said. A lot of them just be sitting at home, keyboard warriors. That's all they are. Talk
And
all that shit on social
chat.
media, ain't doing that.
So here's my thing. I'm just gonna be honest with everybody that's listening. When we get on these conversations, a lot of times I listen because I don't follow these people. I support Tariq Nasheed since we bring him up. I think I've came across Jason Black. I don't know these people. You know why? Because I'm busy doing positive things in my world, in my environment, to make a difference and pouring into other people that are like-minded. So my thing is, when we had the conversation, I think a Sunday or two ago on live about Ozone, I asked Queen Tina, D Mays, take a break, share with everybody what the situation is with Ozone, because everybody doesn't know. We assume everybody's in tune with what's going on and involved and concerned. And people are just not. Les Brown said 80% of people, when you have problems, 80% of the people don't care. And the other 20% are just glad it's not them. And that's just the truth. So when we explain these things, it's important to share the essence and the foundation of the story, because a lot of people do not know. FBA, ADOS, does it really matter? At this point, we are melanated, quote unquote, Black people in America being disadvantaged, abused, misused, overlooked, disrespected. And all the diversity and division just makes it worse. It really does. It doesn't matter. Right now, all of us are in student debt, right? If you went to college, you're in student loan debt. But they had billions of dollars for Ukraine. But nobody's saying anything about those things.
Not just billions of dollars for Ukraine. They all over there. They sending money to Ukraine. They send money to India. I looked on there. I was going in the store to buy some honey, natural honey, and I told my mother, I looked at it. It said from India, China. Why do I need one jar of honey that come from all these countries? Because these racist white supremacists, they set America up the way they want. They keep us in these ghettos, and they sell us to other countries. So when we're being shot and killed by the police, they don't ask, are you FBA? Was Tamar Rice FBA? ADOS?
Facts.
Was he African American? Was he Indian? What was Tamar Rice? When George Floyd was being choked the fuck out, what was he? Was he FBA? Did it make a fucking difference?
Right.
Yeah. It's getting out of hand. Like I said, we're not trying. Listen, man, we're not trying to start no problem. Nobody. We just keep it real. Because all black. Exactly. Look, but about it though, Queen, you're right. Listen, it's a lot of FBA Black people, FBA ADOS that feel like us. You can't listen. I would tell people this. most of our people don't think for themselves. They follow certain people because they got that swag, they got that
Exactly.
slick
Our
tongue
people
and stuff.
follow
You know what I'm saying?
popularity. They
Yeah,
want to
man,
follow
hell with all that. They
popularity,
can't
not
do no
somebody
wrong.
making changes.
Because I could call out a lot of these cats, a lot of stuff that I be catching, and I go in their rooms and I say stuff in the chat. They don't say that to me because they know I'm speaking facts. But see, everybody else, they so they you know they it's like a cult. You know what I'm saying? They
Exactly.
I'm like,
It's a
man,
cult
everybody's not
mentality and they
right.
don't know it.
Cause I
Let
call
me.
them, yeah. I mean,
It's a cult mentality.
boy, I could say something, but I'm not trying to go there because it's about Othal. But yeah, a lot of these cats they be saying stuff. I'm like, you just say that, and like your family, married to this, your mother-in-law, I'm like,
I mean, you know what though?
I got people that went to prison. I know young people. I just came from home, and I can go live in the streets all the time. There is so many young people that go to prison because of this nonchalant stuff. They go into prison for selling weed, and they're stuck in there, and they're getting a death sentence because there's people lacing fentanyl. I got so many young black people who have died in prison just because they went to prison for nothing. And you got these white officers in blue uniform killing us. And like somebody said in the chat, like they hunting us, and they are. And shout out to the chat. Don't mean to ignore
yeah, shout
y'all.
out
We were
y'all.
just getting in there. Shout
We
out,
see
thank
y'all.
you everybody for London Price, Ronald, Curly Girl, Bronze Flower,
Peace.
Flat Power God, whoever, all y'all that's in the chat. I have to
Make sure
scroll
y'all
back.
share this live, y'all. This is the realest,
Yeah,
one of the
like,
realest
and I'm getting
live
ready to
on
play our
YouTube.
commercial. I'm gonna play our commercial again because if you want to know one thing that we believe in, donate to Othal.org, because all these people that y'all have donated to, that's collecting millions and millions of dollars out of the black community. Let me call names. I'm gonna call the names that I know personally because I have a problem with it. Vicky Dillard, Boyce Watkins. And I don't have a problem with Tariq Nasheed, but I do have a problem now with Tariq Nasheed. You collected millions of dollars. I don't know who else right now, but did that money help any of us?
Yeah.
They collected all this money for their own personal gain.
Yeah.
And did it help any of us?
I don't know. I think that's self accountability at some point.
We
At
gotta
some point,
wake up.
like
We gotta stop following the rabbit on the string.
Yeah.
Where we the carrot on the string, and we're never going to catch nothing.
And let's be honest,
following
y'all.
popularity.
I think, and let's be honest.
Hold on 1 second. This is what we about. I'm gonna play this commercial because I know we've been in there, and the commercial is gonna cut off because I had to upgrade it and was cut off. But this is what we about. If everybody was putting their money together, we wouldn't have to deal with the BS that we deal with if we were all on code to try to get somewhere. We keep thinking that we can fix this system or convince these people who have been racist for hundreds of years and passed it down to their children to know how to be racist without saying that they're racist through the laws that they created. We can have our own, but we don't want our own. We want to keep fighting. I'm tired of fighting. I just want to walk away and separate and do something like this.
The United Empires of Akibilan is a sovereign nation founded on the principles of Black economic empowerment, self-determination, and community building. Our mission is to create a safe and prosperous haven for Black people to live, work, and thrive together, free of the chains of white supremacy. We are committed to building a just and equitable society that values the contributions of its Black citizens and fosters a culture of innovation.
And we cut off right there, so forgive us.
And I want to say something too. When you look at this, I was looking at the commercial as an outsider, not as a member of the UEOA. Now I know some of y'all gonna be like, oh, there y'all go with that Pan-Africanism thing, and
it's not Pan-Africanism.
Exactly. It's not.
We can't. I'm not up with rebuilding a whole continent that got more Black rich people and Black billionaires than anybody else. How the fuck America and Black people in America is supposed to rebuild Africa?
Yeah, because I know a lot of people look at it the wrong way. They like, oh, y'all trying to do the whole thing. Umar them talking about, no, we're not. we trying to build a conglomerate. That's what we trying to build. You know what I'm saying? That's
We're
what
not
we
trying to do
building. We're not
anything. We're not
trying. We
trying.
building. Yeah, exactly. My fault. I'm trying to get it trying out because I would tell the kids that I be mentoring. Never say try. We doing. And
Yeah,
yeah,
we doing.
and we taking the steps that we need to. And like I said, if you're gonna ride with us, you're not gonna ride with us. We're not gonna beg anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, all of us is not gonna all of us ain't gonna be on the train. Like it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Some of us are just complacent. We like, okay, we good where we at. We got this little job, we got us a house, a little car, we can go on vacation. Some of our people just like that. That's it for them. They don't even understand this thing is falling apart. So we need to be building something for us, you know what I'm saying? Because like every other community got that. Chinatown, they like 100 years ahead of us, y'all. Koreans, Hispanics. This is what we talking about. We gotta have a code of conduct. We gotta come together. We gotta build. It's no other way around this. I know some of y'all think y'all doing good. I know plenty of black people as individuals are doing great, but as a race, we don't have shit. We make up 1.5% of the population, y'all. I mean, 1.5% of the Americans' wealth. That's crazy. 1.5, that's nothing. That's nothing. You know, like what's the name say? Dr. Clark says like it's like a bucket with a hole in it. You know, like you don't have nothing, you have no resources. We building something big, y'all. And so we can have our own resources, so we can deal with our own people and do business with each other, and rebuild a family structure and, just do things our way. I know a lot of y'all be like, well, if you build something, it'd be just like Black Wall Street in Oscarville, Georgia, they're going to destroy it. No, it's a new day. You know what I'm saying? So
No,
we
that's
don't
why
worry about that
that's
part.
why they see that
Let
little
me say
army.
this.
That's why they see that little army up in there. And that's why this is important
Right.
about Ozone, because you come, and what we want to say is that we got the land. We just need the people to come together and help us build the structures. We ourselves put up our own cash and bought the foundation. And what we're trying to do is not trying. What
Trying
we're
up.
doing is making people, is telling people, come on, let's build together. Now, did anybody that y'all giving y'all money to put their money up first? Not trying to be funny. Me, Kathy, and a few of us got together and we put up, between me, Kathy, and the other people, they got parts of the land, but they might not be putting it up for this project that we're doing. But we put up about $20,000 together of our own money. This is real.
Talk is
And
cheap.
then we're gonna protect ourselves. We're building our own miniature safe communities, not the ghetto. I'm not going down here on 42nd Street to protect a community that the police can come down on. See, we don't look at it for what it is. We get a plot of land all over and we start building what we need in there, and we start depending on each other. Because if something happens like BRICS is happening right now, where they're finna flush out the American dollar, Chinese people have somewhere to go to. The Jews got a community to go to. The Hispanics got somewhere to go to. Black people, you think that at the end, when it's time to feed them or their children, that they're going to let you come in on that? You think that you're going to blend in their community? We have no communities. We have to build a community for us.
And
And you know what, though, Queen, to piggyback off of that, when D-May said the 1.5%, like, if you think emotional, 1.5% ain't shit, right? $100, you spend $100, you get 1.5% back, that ain't shit. But when you look at the bigger picture, that is a big number. So I want to encourage you all to do your own research of what 1.5% looks like and the money we spend to make this shit go around. Excuse my language. It's a big deal, you know. And
Yes.
we look at like the Wall Street situation. I'm sorry, for me personally, I'm not speaking for the UEOA. I don't want a rebuild of Black Wall Street. They burned that shit down. Don't you come over here thinking that you're going to do that over here. I wish you would. You will not burn anything.
Wall Street did not set up an army to protect themselves. We're gonna have a military. We're gonna have the mine of Ozone. We're gonna shoot first before you get rid of us. It's self-defense.
And we're not going to court. I'm not going to court.
We have been tricked to give our lives and let the police and their laws come before our own self-preservation.
And that's all I was saying, Quinn, earlier about like the way the police, the law enforcement treats people. Like, they are so disrespectful. Like, how can you say to somebody, like, if they tell you to shut up or whatever, now you're under arrest? anything you say, like, why do they think they're above the law? And they're
But
not.
look, if we wasn't out in their street going to their grocery store, that would cut down the many times that they pull us over. If we was in our own little community and stop trying to and understand that we cannot be any and everywhere, we can't vacation the way we used to, we're gonna have to be fasting on white supremacy. We need to go on a white supremacist fast. No, don't go to that beach. No, don't go to Disney World. No, don't go wear that label. We don't worry about that. We're gonna have to go on a fast if we really want changes, and we're gonna have to start building among ourselves. And then if we had our own grocery store and our own plot of land, or at least have some of the stuff that we need, we wouldn't have to go out our communities and be stuck to run into one of their racist cops.
And I say this, I know we winding down too, but I say this too. Going back to reparations. Let's be honest, y'all. When the last time you ain't really been hearing about reparations heavy like you did last couple of months? It been talks here and now, but
because it was a fad. It
yep,
was a
we
trend.
lacking off, y'all.
It's what social media wanted.
Yeah.
Mainstream media let it be a trend. They always gonna open up the door. See, they got us in a cage in a room with the door closed. Every now and then they open up the door to hear what them slaves talking about. What y'all boys and girls in there talking about? Oh, they talking about reparations. Let the noise out. Yeah, we here. So they go ahead and start passing laws and start going ahead so that they can over trump anything we want. Go ahead.
Exactly. And I tell people, see, the problem with it when you talk about reparations, it's gonna be it's a serious process because you deal with politics. A lot of our people don't understand politics. If you're gonna play this game, you gotta understand politics. You're gonna have to get some of our people on in them councils in the Senate in the in the Congress to go along with it. See, nobody want to talk about that because they know that's a whole different beast right there. You know what I'm saying? So that's why
they don't know no better.
It's starting to fade away because they understand. They just thinking yelling reparations on YouTube.
It starts locally.
Exactly.
Where we be cheering when we got a black chief of police.
Exactly.
And then like a black DA like Fannie Willis.
Yeah,
and you think they're gonna use their power and like something gonna be done. This chief of police gonna start arresting people, and then what happens? We get fucking pointed.
Exactly. And I was just at a council kind of meeting a while ago because I'm heavily involved in politics, and I want to understand it because I'm gonna use that when I'm gonna use that with the ULA. You know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna still have to have some form of government, but not like the government, not how white people run their government, but you want to have it organized. You want to make sure everything's structured. So I try to get all that knowledge. I can bring it on over there. And plus I want to know what's going on anyway, because like I said, most of us don't even know who our city councilmen are or commissioners and stuff like that. So they talking about reparations, they don't even.
That's how
it should be committees all over the country. It's no committee. Only people they talk about is Marcel Dixon and Sheila Jackson. I think her name was Tamara Shealy. That's it. We should have Congress, senators and stuff, like people supporting the reparations in all major cities and small towns. But nobody.
It's not even about the reparations because it's America. They giving money to what they want. You're not going to get support. The thing is that we act like the government is just a god. Like they tell us to read the Bible and pray to God when something happen, and they do the same thing with the laws. Let's pray to the people, and the government is a bunch of white people in control.
Of course.
Driving us the way that white people wanted to. They could not keep slavery, so they found a way to turn back around, get themselves in seats. How did they get in the seats of government? Well, no, your senators are the ones with power. Your senators have more power than the president. Yep. So we need to go back to government 101. Okay, how you become a senator? Well, you have to be done ran some type of office for at least 2 years. So you need to start with your congressmen, your commissioners, and then
city councilmen.
Yes, your city councilmen, and then you push them up for your House of Representatives and your senators. Yep. And that's how we flood. See, we don't flood the government. We flood each other. We flood our money into different places, but we don't flood the government. They don't pass laws to get rid of these old white people who have been running this government since they racist as grandparents was lynching us.
Yep, it's work. It's too much work for us to do. That's why we don't want to do it. And once some of us do get in there, we let them manipulate us. Like, we're gonna give you this side money so you can shut the hell up. We don't,
or we scared to do anything because we scared that they gonna put on their little undercover white mask and then come shoot us because you hear it all the time. Be careful out there. There's other activists. Be careful out there. It's so much going on. I seen somebody in the chat. Ronald said, while we talk about police, let's talk about doctors. I understand what you're saying. We just kind of talking about the police because this is kind of surrounded around the Ozone case, the black man who basically killed a white officer or deleted a white officer by for self-defense before protecting himself. And the game that the system played to put him, they wanted him killed. He didn't, they wanted him dead. He didn't die. They wanted him to get the death penalty. That didn't happen. They didn't. So the judge manipulated it to where he couldn't do self-defense and he still came out with manslaughter. So when
Okay, so the gentleman that made that comment in the chat, let's talk about black doctors. Look at black doctors that are forensic officers and coroners. Like, how do you manipulate the findings? You know, look at Michael Jackson, not to get off course, but look at Michael Jackson. Like, how do you justify?
Well, they don't care to justify. Most of our black people that get in these positions, they want to, they're mostly white people in black skin. They have been conformed and trained to be a system administrator of white supremacy. So you can't expect nothing out of these people, because people who talk like me and you, people who defend themselves like Othal Wallace, they don't want us in the system. And we usually stay on our side, and we always separating ourselves. We can separate ourselves, but we can also learn to fight the system by training our kids to run for offices. If you had 10 black people running for president right now, wouldn't that be something? Why nobody black wants to run for president? Why nobody black wants to run for senator? We let them pick who's going to be in front of us.
That's always the case. That's what needs to be changed. Like the electoral votes, that needs to be changed.
Yeah,
so
but and you know they elect the electoral college all the time. We know nothing about it. They have us in a community. They have us acting like we are citizens of America when we are not citizens of America, and we have no diversity. And then they put up these little white people in black skin and make it look like we got diversity in the system when these black people are not for our interest. The whole point of having diversity is that you have a Jew that can speak for what the Jews want. You have the Asians that can speak for what the Asians want. That's why they got the executive order. You got the white people who speak for all the time what the white people want. You got the gay people that speak for what the gay people want. Where the fuck are we?
I think it's fear. And my thing is, like, there's nothing to fear but fear itself. So what are you afraid of? The unknown? What's the unknown? Like, the unknown can tell you that you can be the greatest that you can be, that you can achieve anything. So what are you afraid of? We're afraid of success. We're afraid of lack of validation and support and loyalty. Why?
Exactly.
I don't need nobody. I don't. Yeah. I love the unity, but like standing alone, I know who I am, and I will fight to the death. And that shit costs something. I don't want to be martyred.
Yeah.
But like, you know,
I say this: if you know how to fight, because my mama them say I know how to fight. If you know how to fight, a real fighter don't just go out there swinging their arms. Let's just talk a normal fight. You know how to fight. You know how to protect yourself while fighting. See, we fighting the wrong way. We going out here swinging our arms. We want restorations. We want the police. We swinging blindly, and we ain't fighting like we know jiu-jitsu or karate. Those types of self-defense moves, they teach you.
Oh no, you don't want to kick nobody in their throat. You don't want to kick nobody in their throat.
No, I'm just talking about. I'm
just saying that's how we think, though. That's how we think.
Yes, we think that we're gonna fight, we're gonna march, and then everything gonna change. But we don't know. We're not trying to change the minds of the people. The minds of the people are there. They're using the law to get their point across. What we need to do is get in there and get laws changed. That is the only way to help. We got all these. Soon as like Othal Wallace, he is on manslaughter, and it's not the normal manslaughter because a white cop died and he's in a cop uniform. They made the rules to protect their racist cops for if anything like this happened, well, we could still get them if one of them live. Let's give them 30 years.
Exactly. And like I said,
well, their lives is not no better than ours. They're trying to tell you a dog and a white person in a blue uniform has more value to their life than you and your black children.
And you're on camera doing ratchet stuff.
Listen, just like you said earlier, Queen. Sorry about that, Queen Angie. Let's be honest. just like you said, the whole thing like reparations, like a fad. Let me tell you another thing was a fad. Even though even though we all made jokes about it, the whole thing what happened in Montgomery, that shit was it was hyped up for about a week or two, and it just faded on out. That's one thing we do. We follow the trends. You know what I'm saying? And then it just fade out. They don't want to give black people time. Just give it time. Black people gonna forget. And they, like I said, they ain't even showing. We don't even know nothing about Othal or Wallace. We do, but most black people don't. So just think they don't care. I don't even think it we even get, even though we giving the information. I've been telling people and stuff. It's not for some reason it's not trending. So if it's not trending, black people's not gonna care. And that's what our people's about now. If it's trending, we with it. You know, we more concerned about, you know, what Tyler Perry said, Remy Ma, you know, her
Spice and
boyfriend and
Erica Mena.
Tiana Taylor, yeah,
They
stuff
mad with
like that.
Erica Mena for calling Spice a monkey, but yet you not doing
Exactly.
nothing.
That's what we like. We like entertainment. We don't.
But we've been programmed to absorb our news that way. We've been programmed to not focus and to keep being all over the place. It's like, okay, we carry our own news the way that the white mainstream media does. Okay, if they tired of the story, we tired of the story.
Facts.
Even though we get nowhere, and then we keep focusing on reparations, and then we keep being tricked to believe reparations is just money. Changing the laws is reparations.
Exactly. So please, people, stop asking for reparations. We're not gonna get it. Not like we think we are.
Yeah.
I'm just being realistic. That's my point of view.
Let's go after realistic reparations,
Exactly,
and then we can open up the door. We can change the laws where black kids are getting more education, and not just in public schools. And we can change the laws where black kids need to be taught by people who look like them in their city, or the people that is in their community that understand that the way that they talk is not being rude or disrespectful. You know, we need reparations that protect us. We need executive order. We look at reparations as just money. Reparations is not just money. Give us land. Give us credit scores. Give us a credit line. I run a business. I'm just learning. Do you know what a credit line is? A line of credit. You know, give us a chance to buy land and houses without no mortgage rate. That should come straight from the federal government, not no bank, not no mortgage company that's making money off of us. Give us give black people a fair chance of business. Give us free taxes and free internet for a while so we could get out. Give us the tools that we need to get out to repair ourselves. Those are reparations.
Thank you.
You know what, Queen? Real funny. Like, it's crazy because as you're speaking, like, it's so true. But like, I am not a fan. I do not support Kamala Harris. But like, do you see how what she said kind of fits? It was wrong. It was fucked up. But like, no, I'm not gonna do anything for just black people because everybody would benefit. You know, we're so mad about that. But at this point, how I feel is, again, I have over $20,000 in student loan that I can't pay back with interest. Like, if you want to help everybody, help me too. You know, like, I can't keep fighting about like the tit for tat shit.
Exactly.
Give me my shit.
And they know who we are. It's not hard to tell who needs the reparations. I can show you my birth certificate. I can show you my mom's birth certificate. I can show my grandmother's birth certificate. I knew my fucking great grandmother, and she told stories of how slaves was and how she had to pick cotton and be sharecroppers and was ripped off. Nobody talks about how black people who worked after slavery was ripped off by all these sharecroppers and these white people who went unchecked and who went on to break laws and to rob and delete us without the government or the police stepping in. And to have them be the chief of police or over us is just some BS.
Yeah.
It is.
If a black person is scared and we call the police, we should have specially trained black officers that can come to our aid. Not no white cop that don't know about us, and not no white cops that come to the black, predominantly black neighborhoods like they're going in the jungle at the safari in Africa, thinking that they're getting to fight against lions and tigers and fucking bears. So they come strapped with their, not mace, but with their guns cocked and loaded. And then they walk away like, oops, I pulled the trigger. I was scared. And then we got their wives running around being a Karens, calling the police on us at every move. And then they adamant about it. Why aren't they going to jail? Why is there not an anti-Karen law?
There
Exactly.
you go. There you go.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
know, we had to be more proactive. We had to be more boots on the ground and be proactive and not reactive because the shit keeps happening. And that's why we're so desensitized because
Exactly.
it keeps happening. You can't keep up with all these names.
Exactly. So
God,
yeah.
that's not right.
And I know, look, y'all, I know we winding down and we was on here. We actually went over, but it's cool though, because we had to really look, we get passionate. We had to, put it all out on the
Yeah, we
table.
said that.
Are we gonna be back on Sundays, correct?
Yes, we'll be
Sunday?
back
Yeah.
on Sunday
Yeah.
between
So
2 or 3 o'clock.
yeah.
Just
And
look out
we
for
changed
it.
we
'Cause
changed it. We changed it, remember, four.
yeah, oh yeah, four.
Yeah.
At least about 4 o'clock,
About four
because all
o'clock,
of
yeah.
us is on a different schedule and we really be
Exactly.
sticking together, and we want to be the example of how black people, we all have different opinions. We
Mm-hmm.
all in different places of the world, but we find a way to stick together because we want something changed. We don't want to be the star of your life. We don't want a
Exactly.
leader. What is our new motto? We are
Yeah.
looking for leaders, not followers, because leaders get shit done.
I see Ronald said we need to be guns blazing. I get that, but we got to be organized first. See, listen, I'm all for being revolutionary, but the thing is, our people, I think we act before we think a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
tell it about business too. It, these other communities, they be so quiet. Like I always tell everybody, name me a white, Asian, Mexican, Arab, Indian leader. Don't know one, because they are one, everybody leaders. I don't believe in that leader shit. I believe we all are leaders. That's what the problem in the
Exactly.
past. We had leaders, and people they know where your leaders at, so they're gonna come after your leaders, even if they kill them. I mean, they delete them or they
The
either
new
mess
Black
them.
Panther Party. You think that what they all were leaders. They
Exactly.
all were leaders. When one was going, they all were leaders.
Yep. We gotta have mentality. And we can't do everything online either, people. Something like we do offline sometimes. So you gotta find other methods of communicating with each other. Sometimes you have to go old school every once in a while because technology is eventually gonna shut down and stuff. We gotta prepare ourselves. We even about survival, we're gonna get into them. We're gonna have shows on that too. But we gotta start learning, we gotta start thinking years ahead, black people. We can't be thinking the same way we've been thinking for the last 60 years. That didn't work. It don't work. It don't work. You know what I'm
They
saying? I
tell
know
us
some
how
of
to
y'all don't want to hear
pray.
that, but it don't
They
work.
tell us how to pray. They tell us how to raise our children. They tell us how to get mad. They tell us how to move.
Yep.
They tell us how to drive. They tell us how to protest. They tell us how to cry. They tell us how we should mourn. When are
This,
we going to be stopped being told what we do? We got to get up
yeah.
out of land, kick off them red bottoms, some Louis Vuittons, some Gucci's, and
Yep.
kick them over to the side and get some shoes and get ready to build your own community where you are safe and your children are safe. We have been made to forget what it used to be like in the olden days because we want to
Yeah.
keep up with white people. And I'm not going to say
Mhm.
it. I'm going to say this. We are not here to build Africa. That shit is over with. We
Yeah.
have been tricked to send all our resources over to a whole continent
Yeah.
that have black leaders who allow other white leaders and other black leaders to get rid of the money. We begging for a real black president over here because Obama wasn't our black president.
Exactly. And I would
And
tell
we
people,
keep going
mhm,
over there. We cannot build Africa. If
yeah,
Africa believes that they sold us in slavery, and Africa believes all the stuff they did what was his name? Akon and all them, didn't they? Don't the Africans brag on how Americans don't own anything, but when you come to Africa, they own their houses, they own their cars.
yeah,
So how do they expect us, who are being taxed like we are never, like we nothing, who been left out of wealth opportunities, who are behind in education? Why do we take the pennies we have and send it over there? Why is Africa not sending money over here for us
yeah.
to build political leaders, for us to buy land? Why is China over here buying land and not the African leaders coming over here buying land so that we can
Facts.
build cities that represent us?
And then, you know what? You're right. And the
We've
crazy
been
part about it
tricked.
is the only person I see really in Africa that's doing that and trying to kick the colonizers out and control their own resources is Julius Mahema, the EFF. Them the ones I see, and they recognize
Yes,
us and they
I'm laughing at
support us.
Ronald. Ronald said
So,
yes.
we,
Shout out Ronald.
so that's up. That's what's up, Ronald. So they didn't want to support us. We support them because they know what it is. They trying to handle their business there, and they want us to handle our business out here. And that's how it's supposed to be. We got to take care of our own.
Exactly. In
They
Jamaica,
take care of
handle
their
their
house.
business.
Yep. And once we get our stuff together, we all can trade with each other, and that's when the power come in. Because we
That's right.
trading.
Like it
Yeah.
used to be.
Yeah.
We like it used to be, because at the end of the day, when these foreign Jamaicans come over here, if America kicks them out, no matter how bad their country is, fight like we did. They can go to their country. They can go back to Jamaica. They're not forced to call themselves African Jamaicans. If Haitian
Facts.
people come over here, if they get kicked out, they can go to their country. They can go back to Haiti. They stop waiting for these white people to build us up. They don't be forced to call themselves Haitian, African Haitians. If Africans come over here and they get kicked out, they can go back to Africa, whether it's Kenya, Ghana, Nigeria, whatever. Where the fuck are we gonna go? Because we're not Africans right now. We are Americans who's been born on this soil, like our generation of
Indigenous.
families. Nobody has
Indigenous.
to tell Jamaicans that all of us traveled out of Africa, but then that was millions of years ago. Since then, we were already here when white people came. So you did not bring all of us here.
Sure, even
And
even
then all
Christopher
of us that has been born
Columbus.
in America, unless you can prove our family are foreigners like Obama, we are from here. This is our
Exactly.
land. So this is where we go back to. So all these
Exactly.
other countries that come over here getting money, they get the money. Jamaicans do too, because I work with them. They come over here on no J1 jobs. They come over here as immigrants, not illegal, but legal, because the only ones that come over here illegal a lot are the ones that can blend in with the whiteness.
Yeah.
They know they come, or the Mexicans.
Yep.
And then they stick together and use each other ID and work the same jobs. They got their own businesses so they can hire their illegal cousins and stuff. We can't do that.
And like you
So
said,
when are all these other black countries that come over here that's able to walk around black without getting lynched,
when it's
because
convenient.
our ancestors over here in America died and was
Kamala
lynched
Harris,
because for the civil rights that they enjoyed.
Roland
So when are they
Martin.
going to start sending money over here to us?
Yeah, and like I
Can
said,
I ask
that's
a question real quick?
yeah.
I know D-Mags, I know you pressing time, I know you clicking your watch, I know you tapping your watch. I know. But I have a question for you, and it's really important for me. So my question is, when you get on Clubhouse, I know you mentioned you're on Clubhouse on a regular basis. Um, what's your drive with that? And why do you continue to engage in like
You
all
talking
these
about me? Oh,
controversial? Yeah,
oh no, I don't
because
even
it's
mess.
just like
Clubhouse
Well,
is
that's
done.
it's gonna be
It's
another
fan base
subject.
now.
Yeah, that'll
Yeah,
be
we all on
another
fan base
subject.
now. Yeah, I was just in there listening to certain people in the certain rooms just to see where the head, while people heads at, and then it's a lot of time I don't even stay in a lot of them rooms, even on fan base. A lot of them left
Our
Clubhouse.
people over here have been tricked. We walk
Yeah,
around here. We've been tricked to build Africa, and then we got all our stars that we support. We supported Oprah, Tyler Perry, all them. What they do? I'm not saying Tyler Perry, Oprah when
yeah.
she was famous,
Oprah
and all these people.
creepy.
They take all our money and they go over there and build in Africa. What the hell? Building a school in Africa is going to help us here in America?
And
How
then she
can
got
our
them
kids
and
benefit?
did all that and got them kids all kidnapped and stuff. So yeah,
Even if they're kidnapped, my whole point is we've been tricked to take our money and pour it everywhere. And they knew we want to support black. We walk around here with African attire that's made from China. So what are we
God
doing
damn it.
over here? You know, we have been tricked to pour everything that we got out of our own cup into everybody else's cup while nobody pours into our cup.
That's facts. That's
and
facts.
that's why I asked you guys about the thing with the
Black
Clubhouse
Love,
thing. Go ahead.
Black Love asking his fan base black. So fan base is founded by Isaac Hayes the third. That's Isaac Hayes' son here in Atlanta. So he's the founder. Of course, he got investors and stuff. So yeah, it's founded by a black man, and everybody's going over there. It been out since 2018, I believe. But now since Clubhouse did that shift in that out, most all the black
fan base
just
and
black
melanated people.
Yeah.
All we got to do is take an hour of our time and support our own platforms.
Yeah.
Y'all like ghouls and gadgets and lights and tricks.
Yeah.
And we don't see past it. We don't see if we start building now, we can have the cities that we go pour our money into and get slaughtered in the streets. We can go have our own cities where we don't have to go to white supremacy because they know the whole time black people stop spinning with everybody else, America is over with.
Yeah.
But they keep us with chasing that carrot on the string. They keep us running after it when we not getting nowhere.
Well, you know, I always say my last word on this is unfortunately everybody's not gonna make it. Now, I know, like I said, people don't like to hear that, but it's true. I accepted that a long time ago because you can't save everybody. You'd be a fool to think you can save everybody. You can't.
I'm not
These are
saving
family
nobody that
members.
can
You
save me. I'm not sending my money
exactly.
over there. I'm not saying I'm paying African shit because my kids are over here. My
Yeah,
grandkids are over here. We ain't never
exactly.
left out of America and went to Africa since
Yeah,
my grandparents been grandparents. Now I ain't saying anything wrong, but Africa need to come over here and start helping us fight and start helping us build because this is where they getting their money from. I
yeah.
understand that Ghana is saying y'all come over here and this and that and this and we you got accepted. That's a vacation spot. I love you, brothers and sisters over in Africa, but y'all the one with the power. Y'all the one with free land. Ain't nobody
Thanks.
oppressing y'all over there.
Coltan,
And I should
gold,
have to leave
diamonds,
over here
uranium.
to
Damn.
go over there. We
I
need
mean,
to we need to help ourselves first. I think that's
exactly.
what Ronald said. We need
And
to help ourselves first. We've been tricked. How we bleeding out and bleeding, and then we taking the last of our blood to get and to go hunt and go feed our brothers and sisters while our children starve and die over here.
true story. True story. True story.
We
Very
gotta do
true.
that, but we
Okay,
need to
Angie.
tell the world for
You
what
know
it
what
is.
time it is.
I do. The saddest part of the time here with us. So,
But y'all will see us again Sunday.
Yes, and don't
yes,
forget, go to Othal.org. If you can't donate, pass it on. Let's share
Facts.
this. Even if you don't share this live, just put Othal.org and just keep passing it on. We got
Exactly.
to do something because this black man risked his life and
Mhm.
he practiced what he preached.
And like I
You not
said earlier too,
tricking y'all.
do not get caught up in that whole FBA immigrant thing either. He's still a black man. He might have a Caribbean background, but this brother been out in the community. He have children, a
At
black
least
man
he
with
one
kids.
Caribbean that came over to America and got rid of one of our problems with the black people over here.
The cop will see you as a black person no matter what
Exactly.
you are.
Exactly. So we need to stop. I
and
just
that's
want to
the
give it that clear because
point.
I know it's a while a lot of y'all not supporting because I heard it one time. So yeah,
That's
we ain't
them.
doing all
I'm
that.
tired of our people. I'm tired of black people too. I'm tired of us being ignorant. Before you think and before you say something, take the time to think because we have been tricked to be so busy and we react like one of y'all said earlier. We react before thinking. We need to start thinking first before we say anything, before we shoot each other, fight each other, be mad with each other. Fucking think.
Yep.
Go
But you
ahead.
know what, Queen,
All
though?
right, Angie.
We're going to wrap it up really quick. I want to say this. It's really so easy to do that anymore. Like, there's a Subway commercial with Steph Curry and a whole bunch of pro athletes. Subway commercial. At the end, they say, pro sub. Now Subway's slicing their meats fresh. So you weren't slicing it fresh before? That's a problem. But if we say it's good, then you'll believe it's good.
We need
Cause
to
you're
stop giving
who?
away everything, and that's why
That's what I'm saying.
we
We have to stop listening to people that are looking like they're in a position to make calls, and that's what's happening.
yeah.
You
We
know,
got
that's
a
what's
black.
happening.
We are building a black retreat. The land that we have that we advertising. The first step to this is building a black retreat. The black retreat is a safe place that we will be going to where we can mingle with each other, talk with each other, make plans with each other, have our kids play together, grow our foods, learn solar energy, where we come to get our minds together and we leave from the places and come back and forth. That is the first step right now with reprogramming the black mind. So what you see the land, we put our money where our mouth is. We already put up about 10 to $20,000 on a plot of land. We need the rest of us to get involved. So we asking you for Orthel, but also when you go to the United Empires of Akibalon website, donate or just tell us what do you have to offer? Are you a developer? Do you know finance? Do you know how to do carpentry? What do you have to offer? A lot of people have emailed us, but we trying to break down now that we got a step to go ahead. We trying to break down who all can come together because we see everybody as leaders because we believe it takes all of us to do it, not one person. Stop waiting for one person to tell you to save your children or your children's children. And I land
Right.
my go ahead,
And what do you
Queen.
think about this? What do
Boom.
you think about this, Queen?
There it is.
Instead of a retreat, what about a safe haven?
It
I know I
is.
went to
It's a
Cancun,
safe haven.
and when I
It's
went
a
to
black safe
Cancun,
haven.
it was a retreat, but like it was like I did not want to leave. We
Hey,
want it to be where you don't want to leave, to where you do want to invest and pour into and be poured into.
and then build many
You
more.
know,
We gotta
it's
build up
not,
one
we
and then
don't want
duplicate.
temporary things. You know, this is long standing.
Exactly.
So, you know, ask questions. You can email us at what is it?
The United Empires of Akebelon.com.
No. Yes, the email. Is it info?
Yeah, you could you could do info at the United. Well, when they join, if they go to the website and they join the website and they sign up with their email, then that's how they can will get that email. It'll still go to info. So all you got to do is go to the website, and a lot of y'all have signed up, and we send out stuff, and we're going to start being more active on the website because we're learning. We come before you as raw black people trying to figure out how to make this life better for all of us, where it doesn't just help raise money and we use the money only for our family like all these other people. Like with this, like what did Suge Knight say? Why they all in the videos, all doing for them? We trying to build a family of black
Facts.
people that is trying to make a change.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
happening. It's happening.
So
When you
make sure
join
y'all,
the
if you don't, if you're not comfortable joining, like, email us. Email us, ask
yeah,
questions.
we're just a digital.
Email
We're a
us. You
digital
know,
micronation. So we
but it's $10 a month. You know, to invest. You know, to pour into and be poured into. You know, it's a good investment. $10 a month. You spend that on nonsense. Cigarettes,
exactly.
drugs, alcohol,
Facts.
We
hair weave, makeup,
yes.
cologne.
We pay
The time is now, y'all.
between me and Kathy, we pay almost 1,200 a month for the acres that we are putting up to build this black safe haven. It's like the projects. Remember the projects? They tested that out on y'all. It was a project. Well, this is the real project to test out how black people can come together and start building. And we are laying out the plan for you. So we're gonna end this and go ahead, Queen, and give us our last words. And I thank you
Yes,
all for supporting. Thank the chat. Thank Jag the Diva, Ronald, Kathy B, Curly Girl, everyone that's in the chat. And I'm sorry if I didn't get to your name, but you are appreciated.
absolutely. So please like and share. That is so important for the algorithm, all that stuff. We want to get this message out. So please support. You know, we're not asking for anything other than that. We would love your donations and your support, your monthly support at $10 a month. Commitment, but that's okay. Just like and share. We want to invite you to check us out on our UEA webpage, United Empires of Acubalon webpage at www.theunitedempiresofacubalon.com.
And we
Acubalon is spelled ALKEBULAN. I spell it in my sleep. Okay, so on the radio station, you can check us out at www.gmfatla.com. And that's the acronym for Good Morning from Africa Town, Los Angeles. So we hope you enjoyed this broadcast. Please like and share. Do your part. We support you. So please support us.
and y'all have a beautiful
Peace.
blessed day.
Good night.
Good night.
The United Empires of Akebelon is a sovereign nation founded on the principles of Black economic empowerment, self-determination, and community building. Our mission is to create a safe and prosperous haven for Black people to live, work, and thrive together, free of the chains of white supremacy. We are committed to building a just and equitable society that values the contributions of its Black citizens and fosters a culture of innovation,